Yo, welcome back to another episode of the High Value Agent Podcast, where we inspire people to create a better life through real estate. And I have a message for you. The message for today is to keep it simple. Keep it simple. And the reason why this is top of mind for me is because when you are growing a business or you're growing anything, it could be a real estate business, it can be a car business, it could anything where you're seeking growth. Organically through that process comes complexity. And the businesses and or the people who excel in business, a key ingredient for that success is their ability to simplify as much as possible. Like your most powerful people, they are great at simplification. Okay, simplification. They're able to take something and they're able to break it down concisely in how they communicate, or they're able to take a business and really generate a process or build out systems that simplify point A and getting to point Z as efficient as possible through simplifying everything. Okay. So when it comes to real estate, though, we are constantly in the game of building and maintaining relationships. So when you're in the market, when you're showing up to the office, when you're clocking in for the day, the message when it comes to keeping it simple, what I want you to do is have the mindset that you're going to make it happen no matter what. So for that day, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to show up and I'm going to make things happen today. So start with the mindset first. I'm going to make it happen. Now, in that making it happen, we got to generate some business, right? We got to make our phone calls. We got to, if you got a CRM, you got to be in there talking to people. So if you got new people you need to talk to for an hour, make those calls, send those messages, send out those emails, make those connections. And then your follow up, maintain that relationship by doing the same thing, adding value, human to human, right? Show yourself to them as a human being first, real estate agent second. Very, very important. I want to say that one more time. Show up in those conversations, human first, real estate agent second. Here's why that is important when we talk about making it happen and generating business. When you show up in those conversations as a person, as a human first, you have more empathy, which is understanding, right? You have more patience, and you're going to have more conversations about topics that are relevant to that person. Believe it or not, less than 5% of the people that you know and talk to are not, I mean, they're maybe in consideration phase. Like they have considered making a move. 95% of the people that you know when you talk to, they are not thinking about real estate. So if you show up on their phone as the real estate agent only, they're probably not going to want to pick up the phone because the conversation you're looking to have is not relevant to them at the moment. Does it make sense? So generate some business, show up as a human first, build those relationships, maintain them. Okay. And then at that point, make sure you're time blocking those times in your day. Then I want you to make sure that we have documented in your schedule just a morning ritual. Like, what is it that you do every morning that gets you focused, that gets you energized, that gets you prepared to conquer the day? What is that for you? And you should document it. You can literally just put it in your schedule or your calendar. That is documented. Execute your morning ritual. What is the morning ritual? It could be so many different things. Some people like meditation. Some people like breath work. Some people like working out in the morning. Some people like journaling in the morning. Some people like having their coffee in solitude, or having their coffee out on the back deck on a nice warm morning, right? Some people like enjoying coffee with their spouse. Whatever it is that gets you in the mindset of gratitude, that gets you in the mindset of, I'm going to go out here and make it happen, do that and document it and make that a ritual. A ritual happens no matter what. So get that going. Then, when we talk about keeping it simple, have business maturity. And what I mean by that is, because we've all been like, at some point we were just born, and then we were toddlers, and then we were I guess infant, and then toddler, right? And then you would be a teenager, and then you would be an adult, and then for some of us we start maturing somewhere in those stages, right? You start maturing and having responsibility, and not having people to always have to tell you to do stuff. You start learning that it is your duty to do or execute on certain things. It's called maturity. Well, when it comes to business, same thing. Have business maturity. And in other words, business maturity is simply having discipline to keep your emotions in check when it comes to doing your core activities. Okay. Not getting too high, not getting too low, not being so attached to the outcome, but being attached to the process that's going to get you to the outcome you want. That is business maturity. So keep it simple. And again, I hate, it's tough saying fall in love with the process. I understand that it's hard for me to just say, hey, fall in love with the process, and for you to just snap your fingers and you're in love with the process. But what I would say is, have the discipline to stay consistent doing the core activities, to where you start to fall in love with the process, because you know that by following the process, on the other side of that is exactly what you want for your life. Okay. And then we got to have no excuses attitude. No excuses. Well, I can't make my call to my SOI database because I don't know what to say. Bullshit. I can't show up to the office because I got a flat tire. Bullshit. I can't do A, I can't do B, I can't do C, X, Y, Z, elemental P. I don't care. No excuses attitude. Get it done regardless. Okay. Get it done regardless. I know people, and I've been one of these people where I was running behind all day, and I was out and about on showings, and I was showing up to I was as far as like getting my conversations and my prospecting in, I was behind for the day. But I was ahead of time as far as like showing up to my next showing. I got there about 25, 30 minutes early because of my previous meeting got done early. So I show up to the showing, I'm just sitting in my truck, and I'm prospecting. I'm taking that time, instead of scrolling Facebook or wasting time. I'm taking that time to make my calls, to get my prospecting in for today, because I had a no excuses attitude. No excuses. Okay. And then what ties it all in is having the I'm all in approach. Go all in. What I have found, and I've seen this on our team, the people on our team that there was no way to go but forward, and there was no other options. Like, I gotta make this work, or I don't know, like, I am literally going to be out of money and out of everything that is important to me. I'm not going to have anymore. I have to make this happen. No other options. Those people prevailed. They overcame. And I've seen people that would be on the opposite side of that. They had other options. They had something to fall back on if this didn't work, and they would feign the the feeling, or the actions of being successful and or being busy and or being productive. But the reality is they weren't getting the results that they try to portray on Facebook or social media. It wasn't really happening that way. And the reason why is because they have something else to fall back on. If they didn't have any closings for 2 months in a row, well, they have something to fall back on. So the day to day business maturity, what I was talking about before, like showing up every single day and keeping it simple, following the simple process, they didn't have to do it because they knew that they got something to fall back on. So do not be that person. I'm not saying be irresponsible. If you've set yourself up in a way to where you got other options, cool. It's all the mindset. You got to go all in, because if you don't go all in any business, it's going to be very difficult to win. Like it's even more difficult than it already naturally is. So go all in. Now, I want to end this with, if you are in a position right now where you're stuck, you're struggling, I want to remind you, find someone in your market that you trust, um, and you can ask them to coffee, you can ask them to lunch, and what I want you to do is, with that person, I want you to become curious and ask them what they did to overcome their challenges, because trust me, they currently got challenges too. And you share your challenges with that person. And through that, I want you to just have the mindset to build a connection with somebody in your market that is like another agent that is successful. And I want you to set up accountability with that person if they will be willing to do that with you. And most people who are winners are going to be open and willing, and actually they embrace accountability. So find that person. And if you don't have that person, reach out to me. Let's hop on a Zoom call. Let's have a conversation, because what I want to do is continue to move your business forward in any way I can. And I'm here to tell you, there's agents that have joined my team and have been in the business for years and struggled year after year after year, finally decided to put their ego to the side. We have a conversation, and they literally double or triple their business within 6 months, just by keeping it simple, just by following the process and being coachable, and just being vulnerable, willing to be open and vulnerable about the struggles. So I want to just open that door. I want to invite you all. I'm here to support you. Okay, so find somebody in your market who understands or maybe has been through what you are currently going through. Try to build a relationship with that person, set up accountability with that person, and then I'm always here to support you as well. So, all right, I'm gonna put a bow on this one. Hope you guys have a powerful day. Be strong. Do what you got to do. Keep it simple. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.